Hello there, everybody. Welcome to tonight's live stream. I hope you enjoy the music. I'm going to be playing some songs from my new album for you all, including The Prize, the title track that came out today. Here it is on vinyl record. You can order it if you'd like at joerobinson.com/theprize. All right, let's jump into it with some music. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I had a one-way conversation with me, myself, and I about the way we've been living. Can't imagine why. To get to where we're going, it's a clouded compromise. You're mistaken if you think I'm taking my eyes off the prize. Maybe I've been distracted, quite possibly you're right. This big old bright and shining world has kept me up at night. We all know that price tag shouldn't come as no surprise. You're mistaken if you think I'm taking my eyes off the prize. Some days I live with no regrets. Some days I just as soon forget. Some days a diamond, some a stone. Some things I just as soon leave alone. All this leave me, I can't really say I know. I got more questions than answers, quite a ways to go. I can't let that deter me, this I realize. You're mistaken if you think I'm taking my eyes off the prize. Some days I live with no regrets. Some days I just as soon forget. Some days a diamond, some a stone. Some things I just as soon leave alone. Had a one-way conversation with me, myself, and I about the way we've been living. Can't imagine why. To get to where we're going, it's a clouded compromise. You're mistaken if you think I'm taking my eyes off the prize. My eyes off the prize. My eyes off the prize. There we go. Rock and roll. That was the title track from my new album, The Prize, that's available for pre-order now. If you'd like to be one of the first people in the world to receive it, you can pre-order it now, and the music's going to ship before the actual release date, so that's pretty cool. You can purchase it on vinyl like this, and the vinyls come signed by me. You can purchase it on CD, or you can purchase it as a digital download. I listen to CDs myself because I just moved out here to Montana, and it's funny, I was driving around and I found some pretty good music on a radio station. I was like, oh, this is my kind of station. They played Eric Johnson, and then they played Johnny Lang, all kinds of good music, and then I realized someone told me that was actually a pirate station. I said, no wonder, that's the only radio station that I think I've particularly liked. And it's a pirate station, so there's not really any other stations, and sometimes that one's not available. So I listen to music on CDs. So if you'd like to buy my album on CD, you can do so. joerobinson.com/theprize. And if you're in a foreign country, shipping is not cheap these days. It just costs quite a bit to send a CD internationally. So a digital download might be a good option for you. You'll get the music in a high-res download. And this is a beautifully produced and engineered album by some really, really high-end, high-class folks. So I hope you'll appreciate the nuances in the music, and you'll hear the nuances a lot better than you will on Spotify or YouTube if you get the high-res version. So anyway, I have to promote the music because this is my platform to do so. I don't have a viral TikTok video promoting the music, which is apparently the #1 way people promote music these days. But for me, it's all about the music, it's all about the songs, it's all about the stories, and it's all about being real and authentic. So I'm here to do that for you, to play you some music in the flesh via live stream. Let me know if the connection is good. It seems good from the information I'm seeing here on my screen. So let me know if it sounds good and if it looks good, because that's good information for me. It's good feedback. The last stream I was having some problems because I didn't have a wired Ethernet connection down to the studio here. A temporary studio. Anyway, I'm going to quit ranting and play some more music. This is one of the most beautiful songs of all time. What a Wonderful World I'm going to play for you now. And in the comments, let us know where you're tuning in from in the world, because it's not only interesting for me to read where you're tuning in from, it's interesting for all the other folks who are listening to tune in from. So here we go. What a Wonderful World. Dedicated to all the folks out there spread across the globe. Alright, this is a tune called Byron's Bounce. Here we go. Good fun. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. I hope you all are having fun out there. Thanks for letting us know where you're listening from and watching from. It's always interesting. It's an amazing thing. This internet, we can connect with people from all over the world. And I wanted to let you all know that when I do these streams, I put out a virtual tip jar. And if you enjoy the music and want to buy what is essentially a virtual ticket to the show, you can do so at joerobinson.com/tipjar, TIPJAR. Thank you in advance to anyone who chooses to leave a tip, make a contribution. It does help out a lot. It's very much appreciated by me. I try not to pass the tip jar around every single song, but every 15 minutes or so during the stream, I like to mention it. And I want to say thank you to anybody who decides to leave a tip. joerobinson.com/tipjar, TIPJAR. You can tip as little or as much as you want. It's very easy and doesn't take very long at all. So just click the link and do so if you please. But no pressure, of course. Okay, I'm going to sing another song. And this is also from the new album. This is called Fine Line. Hope you like it. It's a fine line that we walk every day. There's a right and a wrong in everything we do and say. It's a fine line, runs through the heart of every woman, man and child, and everyone's got to do their part. It's a fine, fine line. It's a fine, fine line between the good and the bad, the truth and a fad. It's a fine, fine line. It's a fine line that we dance in our dreams, all alone in the dark where we plan our secret schemes. It's a fine line, rules by we play. We slide 'em, we move 'em and lose 'em with our shades of gray. It's a fine, fine line. It's a fine, fine line between a win and a loss, the worth and the cost. It's a fine, fine line. When you do, when you don't, it's a fine line. When you will, when you won't, it's a fine line between pleasure and pain. It's a fine line. What you lose, what you gain. It's a fine, fine line. It's a fine, fine line. It's a fine, fine line between a win and a loss, the worth and the cost, the good and the bad, the truth and a fad, a rise and a fall. risk it all. It's a fine, fine line. Good times. I just love playing music. Thanks for sharing this moment with me. So that's another tune from the album The Prize, which is pictured here in vinyl. I'll read some of the tracks for you. We've got Gotta Keep Moving. That's the first track. The Prize. Fine Line. So Much More. Got a Woman's Love. Wandering Man. Where Would We Be Without Love? Moonlight and Magic. Gypsy Eyes, Winds of Change. A lot of new songs, a lot of songs that if you like The Prize and you like Fine Line, you're going to enjoy the rest of the album because it was a collaborative effort with my friend, the great producer and engineer and songwriter, Brent Mayer. And Brent and I wrote these songs together and assembled a cast of some of the finest musicians in Nashville. And it was my honor and privilege to make music with these people. So I hope you'll listen to the album and I hope you'll enjoy it. I know a lot of people have sent me nice messages and called me on the phone telling me they like The Prize and Fine Line. Some of my heroes and mentors have called me, so that feels really great. Mark asks, are you signing the CDs as well? Yep, all the pre-ordered CDs and vinyl albums will come signed by me. So if you pre-order the music, it's signed. Want the vinyl, but in Ireland. The only place to get the vinyl is my website. I don't have distribution in all the different countries because there's too many of them and it's too complicated. But you can buy one and we'll ship it to you from here if you want. Otherwise, you can get a digital album. Billy Burnham says, Winds of Change, yes. Yeah, I like that song, Winds of Change, too. Alan says, are they all your originals? Yes, they are. All my original music. Normally, I just record original music. I normally don't play covers, but, you know, people tune in from all kinds of countries and all places, and I like to play cover songs and arrangements. And I'm about to hit 100,000 YouTube subscribers. And, you know, it's kind of like, it's a little bit humbling sometimes because you can put a lot of money into recording an album. You can put a lot of money into creating music videos, and I can create a lesson for summertime and the lesson will get more views. So there you go. It's a humbling thing, this internet world. Let's say that I want to order all your vinyls in one go. Is it just one shipping deal, right? Yeah, it's definitely cheaper if you buy them all, and you'll just be charged once for shipping. Goes by the pound, so. But it's you can buy all the vinyl albums. Definitely can do that. Thank you. Thanks for supporting the music. You can purchase the album at joerobinson.com/theprize is where you'll find all the pre-sale information. So I see a few requests there for Flow, which is a song that I really love playing. So I'm going to play it for you all now. Here we go. go. That's flow. So I saw a couple questions flow in there. Do let me know if you have questions. The question was, what capo am I using, and do I change it up sometimes with the capo? Well, I'm just using a Shub capo, and this is about the cheapest capo you can get, and this is probably my favorite capo of all. It's just really simple. I forget what it's called. I think it's the Shub C1. The S1's stainless steel, but the same thing. But basically, they're a really great design, and they allow you to bend the strings, and the strings don't go all out of position. So they're really good, and I find them to be very accurate. You can dial them into just the right amount of pressure. And I have a whole box full of capos over there, and sometimes I'll use different ones just depending on what's lying around. But I really like the Shub capos as my kind of go-to. So there you go. And I'm not even sponsored by them or anything, but I'd be happy to tell them how much I like their capos. I've been approached by basically like 5 or 6 of the other capo companies, and I just don't like a lot of the more modern designs, to be honest. So there you go. Yeah, someone asked about the guitar. I put a video on YouTube about this guitar. It's a 1943 Gibson LOO. It's a wartime Gibson made during World War II. And it's a great sounding guitar. Normally I'm playing my Maiden, but this is the guitar that kind of hangs around in the studio, and it's nice to write songs on and nice to play during streams like this. And I just moved to Montana, for anyone who doesn't know that. And all my stuff's kind of packed away in boxes, and if I want to find like a microphone clip, I gotta dig through 5 boxes to see which one it happens to be in. But so I'm kind of working with the minimum amount of gear that I need while I get set up and settled here. So for anyone who's just tuning in, we do have a tip jar set up for these live streams. The tip jar link is joerobinson.com/tipjar, TIPJAR. And you can just select the amount and then press the button and you're good to go. You could also contribute via Venmo if you want, but Venmo is not... I saw someone asked about Venmo. You don't have to use Venmo. You can just use the tip jar link and type in your information. If you want to support the music and leave a tip, thank you in advance to anyone who chooses to do that. Let me know if you have any requests. I saw some requests about Beatles songs, so I'm going to play some Beatles songs for you all. What do you think about McPherson guitars? I went to the McPherson factory recently when I was in Wisconsin, and I think their guitars are wonderful. They're very nice guitars. The fellow who designed and built those guitars is an archery guy, so it's interesting. It's an interesting approach from kind of the engineering standpoint of the instrument. So yeah, they're built by a brilliant bow maker. Kind of cool. Here we go. Here's a request from KC. A bit of windy and warm. Here you go, KC. Rock and roll. Gosh, it's just cool to hear how different guitars' woods make a difference. The Gibson sounds so warm and rustic, like the age. Exactly. These are really cool guitars. They're made of mahogany, and so they have kind of this real dry sound. And it definitely has a vibe for the more folky type tunes. The Maitons I play, which my Maiton that I've been practicing on all day, it's upstairs. And it has a brighter, more high fidelity sound with more sheen on the top, and it's a wonderful instrument. Every guitar has a character of its own, and I think the Maiden guitars are my pick for the plug-and-play guitar to take on the road and get on stage with. Okay. Sam says, can I have a look at the headstock? Yeah, there's no banner logo or anything. It just says Gibson. So it's kind of interesting because during the wartime, apparently, most of them had the banner headstock, but these LOOs were like a kind of an older model from the 30s that they still made a few during the wartime, but they didn't put the new headstock on. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Please Joe the Entertainer from Alan. Okay, I'll play the Entertainer for you, Alan. Here we go. Then I'm going to play another song from The Prize. There we go. I'm going to play another song from the album now. From the album The Prize. That is my brand new album. It's coming out real soon. You can pre-order it now at joerobinson.com/theprize. I'm sorry for all the spam comments that have been popping up. I didn't think if I called my album The Prize, I'd get all the spam comments saying, you've won a telegram, you've won blah, 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 buy some Bitcoin, yada, yada. So if you see any suspicious comments, just block and report, please. We got to take care of these bots, clean them up, get them off the social media platforms. Okay, so what should I play next? Should I play Gotta Keep Moving? Should I play Got a Woman to Love? Should I play Where Would We Be Without Love? Winds of Change? Gypsy Eyes? I think I'll play Gotta Keep Moving. Why not? I got to remember how to play these songs. It's been a while since I recorded them. What strings are you using? I use Ernie Ball strings. And this guitar has 11 to 49, I think, on it, because it's just an older guitar. I don't want to put 12s on it. But usually I put 12 to 54, but I replaced the high E with a 14 on my maidens, because I like the higher gauge, more sustain on the high E string. Okay, gotta keep moving. Here we go. There's a lot of work left to be done, a lot of race left to be run. Up to us to find our way to where we wanna be someday. Gotta keep moving, gotta keep moving, gotta keep moving, gotta keep moving. What lies ahead, what waits for us? How much in love do we trust? And no telling what we'll find by looking ahead and not behind. You gotta keep moving, you gotta keep moving, you gotta keep moving, gotta keep moving. Hand in hand, we hold the key to open any door, to anything and everything we are yearning for. Gotta keep moving, gotta keep moving. Some rugged roads may shake our faith, we may bend, but we will not break. Babe, I got you and you got me. Tell me, what else do we need? We gotta keep moving, 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 gotta keep moving. Keep on moving, keep on moving, keep on moving, keep on moving. Now, I saw a really funny comment there from Marty V. He says, lol, a year ago you couldn't get vinyls done because Adele's people booked all the pressing factories. And that's actually a true story. It is so hard to get vinyl manufactured these days. Fortunately, there's a new plant in Nashville that's called the Vinyl Lab. And it's a fellow who came in and started this vinyl pressing plant. And I went in to pick these up, and he showed me all the machines. They run 24/7. They've got vinyls being pressed all day and all night. It's a really small plant, and a lot of the, more boutique artists in Nashville that are doing smaller runs of vinyl will use a plant like this. But it's true that Adele, when they needed like however many hundreds of thousands of vinyl copies, they booked out all the plants, and you just couldn't get vinyl records. I emailed so many companies trying to get them to print out my vinyl Christmas album, and which is in the works, by the way, and I got turned down by just about everybody. But just because it's like you need to book years in advance and no one could get it ready for Christmas. But the fellow who mastered my album for vinyl, his name's Ryan K. Smith, and he's the same person that mastered Adele's album for vinyl. So, I really went all out in this album, and I worked with some of the top people, and this is an independently produced album. So if you want to support the music, the best way you can do is to buy it. Because if you listen on Spotify, then Spotify really takes your subscription money, and then they pay the artist a little sliver of the money. But if you leave a tip, or if you purchase a digital download of the album, or you purchase it on vinyl or CD, then you actually support the musician and the artist, and give the artist resources to make more music. So thank you in advance to anyone who purchases albums and purchases, even if they're digital. I know a lot of people don't have CD players anymore. A lot of people have vinyl players, but it's a way to support music in a real tangible way. And yeah, anyway, thank you in advance to anyone who does pre-order the music. It's available at joerobinson.com/theprize. And I know you won't be disappointed with the music, because I think the songs are really solid. I think the playing is really solid. I think the production is world class. And I'm very, very proud of the music. And I'm quite excited to share it. And thank you for sharing it and spreading the word and helping get the word out. I really rely on you all for that. So thank you. Casey says, what has been your favorite thing about Montana, Joe? I just like the fresh air, and it's more of a community spirit here than a big city kind of atmosphere. And yeah, just the fresh air and the beautiful nature is what I like. So Marty V says, mastering for vinyl is a dying art. More young people should intern just for that. I totally agree. The producer I worked with on this album, it was Brent Mayer, and he's an Audio Engineer Society Hall of Fame member. And Brent has been, he's worked with so many different artists. He produced Duke Ellington. He produced Ike and Tina Turner, their Proud Mary live recording, that version that's real famous. He produced and engineered that. And he said his first job as a recording engineer, I believe he got out of the Air Force and he went into work in a recording studio, and the first thing he learned to do was master a vinyl album. So it is a dying art, and I think it's great for recording engineers like myself to learn the ins and outs of vinyl, about how you can't have too much sibilance, you can't have too much rumbling low end, and just learn about how to make vinyl sound really, really good. And I usually record my albums at a high sample rate, a high fidelity, and I try not to compress things too much. And I really believe in the quality of recorded music. It's something I'm kind of a geek about. So Marty says, and you get the album art. Exactly, you get the credits. I put the credits on my YouTube videos if anyone wants to watch the official music videos, but I think it's just totally shameful that Spotify and Apple Music don't allow you to really view the credits properly. You can kind of view the producer and the songwriter sometimes, but it's not like a full album's worth of credits, to my knowledge, that you can access easily. You got to go to a site like AllMusic to do that. And AllMusic is horrible to deal with. You got to send them a spreadsheet full of all your information and hope that they get to it. My last 2 albums I've sent to them, and they don't even do anything. So I think I think the streaming companies can do better where that is concerned. Anyway, I'm gonna quit ranting now and play some more music. I had a really nice Zoom call today with my students from Guitar Synergy, and we had a nice time chatting away about guitar playing. And if you do have any questions about playing, let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to help you and answer them. I'm just as passionate about playing as ever. Next week I'm teaching over at Steve Vai's guitar camp, so that's going to be a fun experience. I'll be the acoustic guy in amongst the shredders. I think Tommy Emmanuel's going to stop by too, and we're going to play some songs together. But it's going to be a blast playing with Steve and with all the great folks there, including Guthrie Govan and an amazing lineup of folks. So, all right, here we go. Patrick says, hey Joe, seeing you in Duluth was divine. I know you're playing acoustic, but would you willing to demonstrate your technique to mechanics for bending with vibrato? Or what course could I buy for it? That's a really good question, Patrick. And it's funny, I just mentioned Steve Vai. Steve Vai put out a lesson I think it was in the 80s, with Guitar Player magazine lesson. And he said the way he recommends practicing vibrato was to play one note for an hour. Just one note. And practice getting all the vibrato out of it. So I would choose this D note. That's my note of choice. On the G string, 7th fret. And you just practice bending it really slowly. Sorry, vibratoing it really slowly. You can bend up to it. It's a bit hard on an acoustic. Try it with different fingers. Try like up and down, side to side, circular vibrato. It's much easier on an electric guitar. But that's one way to really dial in your left-hand touch and the finesse. Because that's what makes the difference between a really expressive player and someone who you just don't feel like they're in command of the instrument. It's that finesse of the left hand, and that's a great exercise to just play one note for like an hour if you can suffer through it for that long. As far as the courses you would buy for it, I have a list of courses on my website, joerobinson.com/courses, and I have courses like my recording acoustic course, which I've gotten rave reviews on that. There's over 100 lessons in there. I have my Udemy series of fingerstyle courses, which have been very popular. And I also have a series of improvising courses. And there's a course in there that's about blues soloing. And that has a lot of tasty blues phrasing kind of things in it. So you might check that out. There's also a course called Electric Synergy, which is also features a lot of my lead playing, bending and vibrato. But it's a more advanced program. In fact, it's very advanced. I'm just basically playing all the hardest stuff I can, and they tabbed it out, so it's pretty cool. Electric Synergy is the name of that, and if you use the links on joerobinson.com/courses, that's the way to get the best deal. All right. Brett says, I'm thinking of getting a turntable amp and speakers firstly to listen to your music, Joe. Thanks, Brett. Well, you don't have to get it on vinyl. You can get it on CD or download, and it sounds great. I think it is magical listening to an album on vinyl. I love listening to old Ray Charles albums. That's kind of my favorite thing to do. My speakers and turntable are buried away there somewhere. But it's a wonderful experience listening to music on vinyl. Dave says, sorry I couldn't make the Zoom call today, although I got to play guitar with my 83-year-old aunt. Oh, Dave, that's the best excuse ever. How special is that? How did she play? That's really cool. Too cool. Joe, do you have a course that includes Windy and Warm? I do. I think the best way to go about learning that song is on my Guitar Synergy channel, which is also on that page, joerobinson.com/courses. There's a full lesson for Windy and Warm with some tab there, and there's lots of songs, intermediate level songs in the course, beginner fingerstyle songs, and students in there seem to really love it, so I'd recommend checking that out. It's linked on my website, joerobinson.com/courses. What's your favorite album? I got so many favorite albums. I don't even know where to begin on that. So many favorite albums by Eric Johnson and Jeff Beck and Django Reinhardt, George Benson, Weekend in LA. There's so many good albums. Daniel Friend Music says, was there a certain sound you were going for on this new album? I've really enjoyed the production of the instruments and backing vocals on the 2 songs so far. Well, thanks for the question, Daniel. I was really going for an organic vibe, so just a real organic feeling. I played and sang all the songs together live, so that's a pretty big difference in the way the music feels than if you just play the guitar and then you sing the vocals. It just kind of starts to sound a bit like less of a performance. But I played live with the musicians, and we really wanted to capture that organic feel, organic sounds, and just a real classic sound, because I think there's a lot of music that has electronic production that I think is really great, but I think there's not enough really organic music out there, especially organic inspired unique music. There's a lot of stuff that kind of is like a throwback sound. It's trying to sound like the 60s or something, but I'm not interested in doing that. I'm interested in moving forward, and I'm interested in pushing the envelope on the guitar, trying to figure out cool things to play that takes the music of Jerry Reed and Chet Atkins and these people that I grew up listening to and have informed my technique, and putting it around a cool song with a cool idea that makes you think and makes you feel something, and then have really great instrumentation and great performances. So that's kind of what I was going for, is a real organic vibe. and it was mixed through a big old Trident console from 1978, so it has that tone, has that old school tone. That's what I was going for. Can you play Borders, please? I can play Borders. Good idea. Marty V says, what kind of in-ear monitors do you use? Are those different than for electric guitars? Well, I have to be honest, I haven't really tried all the different in-ear monitors available. These are from Ultimate Ears, and I bought them probably 10 years ago now. 10 or 12 years ago. It was when I very first came to America. I probably didn't even live here yet, but I had them molded for my ears. So they pour this weird waxy stuff into your ear. You go to an audiologist, and they send the molds to the company, and the company makes these in-ear plugs. They're really expensive. These have 18 speakers inside of them, believe it or not. But they're great live if you're playing in an ensemble that uses in-ears. I don't use them live. I used to when I played with my trio. I had a trio for 5 years. And I did that, and I use the in-ears quite a bit. But these days I use them for video work a lot, because it just looks a bit cumbersome if I've got these big headphones on. It's kind of like, it's just a bit distracting, I think. So with the in-ears, I get to monitor what's coming into this microphone here. I just have one microphone, and I get to hear whether there's reverb on here, like that. Turn the reverb up or down, and I get to hear if I'm too close to the microphone, if it's getting too boomy, or if I'm too far away, and if my voice is too quiet. So I get to monitor things in real time. So that's why I use them. But like I said, I don't know about the different in-ear monitors there are. I've had these for so long, and they sound great, and that's what I do. Are you recording any of the sessions? I'm not sure what you're referring to, Paul. If you're referring to the sessions where I recorded the album, I do have some video footage, and I'm going to upload some to my Patreon page soon. And I'm going to be telling the story about the album, just trying to promote it, trying to get awareness to the music. And so stay tuned to my YouTube channel and whatnot for that. And if you want to join my Patreon, you'll see some behind the scenes footage, and I'll probably talk about things that I won't disclose publicly. It's kind of a little nice little way for me to connect with folks in there. Okay. Well, there's more questions here, more good questions. Sorry in advance for my English, says Elliot. I have trouble finding the best position for my right hand to hit the chords in fingerstyle. Do you have any recommendations? I do. So with your right hand, it kind of depends on how you're sitting. If you're sitting classical style, then a more classical technique is going to be probably a better approach. But if you're sitting cowboy style like me, like when we stand up to play, basically you just want to have your hand be as relaxed as possible. And I like to have the index finger on the third string, the middle finger on the second string, and the ring finger on the first string. That's kind of my starting place. And my thumb, I like to mute the strings a lot if I'm playing a song with this kind of bass pattern, which I do a lot. So I mute the bridge with my right hand just a little bit. If you don't mute it, it sounds like that, which is just, it kind of doesn't separate the melody and bass. Some people like to anchor the pinky. I don't, because I find I can't use my ring finger if I do that. And I like to use the ring finger. So basically, that's the position that I sit with my right hand. It's a pretty straight forearm and wrist, and I'm pivoting at the wrist. I'm not moving my forearm much if I'm strumming or whatever. I'm just kind of mostly using the wrist to pivot. And it's just really relaxed, really loose, and it's normal to try to play something, and if you try to go too fast or try to learn a new technique and you start tensing up, that's normal, and you've got to slow down and practice playing really, really slowly. Maybe I'm preaching to the choir, maybe you know this already, but that's just kind of me riffing about the right hand fingerstyle technique already. So I hope that answers your question. It's a bit difficult to answer it without hearing you play. I'm sure if I saw you playing, feel free to send me a video if you want. If you're in my Guitar Synergy channel, it's very easy to upload a video. but I can take a listen and make a suggestion if you'd like. All right. Listening to you out in the back garden in Dublin, says Alexander. Would love to hear Misty, legend. Cheers, Alexander. Hope you have a nice afternoon. Well, I'm not sure what time it is there in the back garden in Dublin, but I hope you're having a good time. I'm going to play Misty for you. Thanks for the request. I realized I had a request for Borders and I forgot to play it, so here we go. Here's Borders. This is a song I wrote about trying to get married to my wife. She's from Canada, and we were kind of stuck in different countries during the pandemic, and I couldn't go visit her. So I wrote a whole album about her, a bunch of love songs, and this is the title track. Came out in 2020, I believe. Stand between us now. Borders are keeping me from you somehow. I'd go under the radar if I could. I'd be a camouflage stealth man sneaking through the woods. Passport, yes sir, I got to swipe my nose, enter in my shoes. Borders are all that stand between us now. If only I could fly 1,000 miles to you, this dream come true. Babe, I need you more than I ever have right now. But we'll make this work somehow. Across these borders, I'd swim that ocean great and wide. I'd dig through the earth to the other side. I'd sell every single thing I own to not leave you one more day alone. Borders are all that stand between us now. If only I could fly 1,000 miles to you, you could be my bride, make this dream come true. Babe, I need you more than I ever have right now. But we'll make this work somehow. Across these borders, Alright, too much fun. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the music, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Great way to close out the month of July. I hope you enjoy the second half of 2022. And I wanted to remind you that my new album, The Prize, pictured here on vinyl, is coming out real soon, and you can pre-order it now if you'd like. Just go to joerobinson.com/theprize. It's got 10 songs on it. They're original songs, and you can listen to The Prize, which is the title track, or you can listen to Fine Line, which is the two singles that have dropped so far. And if you like what you hear, then I think you'll like the rest of the album, and you can pre-order it now on vinyl, on CD, or as a digital download, a high-resolution digital download. So I hope you enjoy the music, and thanks to anybody who left a tip during the stream. The tip jar link is joerobinson.com/tipjar, TIPJAR. Don't you love the way Australians say ah? G'day, mate. Go jump in the car. I have an Aus-American accent, they tell me. I've been over here for so long, it's kind of morphed into half Temagod, half Tennessee. So forgive me for that. But take good care out there, buddy. Thanks for watching the stream, and see you all again real soon. All the best.